Have you ever stared at a massive 2-hour interview recording and completely panicked about how you are possibly going to turn that into a full week's worth of engaging social media content? If that feeling is familiar, I assure you that you are absolutely not the only one struggling with this massive content hurdle. Finding that one tool that manages to be easy to use, genuinely affordable, and actually highlights the truly good bits without adding frustrating complexity is somehow still one of the hardest parts of modern content creation. I have personally been stuck in that exact scenario. Our dedicated editing team has certainly lived that struggle, and we rigorously tested a bunch of the popular options so you don't have to waste your valuable time. Today, I am walking you through 5 of the most popular tools people naturally grab when they need captions, content snippets, and quick highlight clips from their long-form content. But stick around until the very end, because after that review, I will share a much better, significantly less annoying workflow that will help you actually publish content consistently every single time. Let's quickly establish the roadmap for this comparison. I'll walk through each of the 5 tools, detailing what it does exceptionally well, where it inevitably trips up, and for whom that specific tool actually makes the most sense. First up for review is the industry staple, Rev, which is the best choice if you absolutely require near-perfect, highly accurate transcripts for any content. If you are producing anything where getting every single word exactly right is a non-negotiable requirement, think legal explainers or sensitive medical content, Rev is definitely the trusted go-to solution. The main reason for this high standard is simple. Rev uses real, trained humans to transcribe your audio, meaning you are essentially guaranteed a very high level of factual accuracy every time. That level of guaranteed precision is an absolutely huge benefit if your project simply cannot afford to have embarrassing or costly mistakes in the written record. However, the trade-offs for this human-powered accuracy become very obvious when you look at the cost and the necessary time investment. The standard turnaround time for most projects is usually around 24 hours, and that per-minute pricing structure adds up surprisingly fast as your content volume increases. If you are the type of creator who is pumping out substantial long-form content on a daily basis, Rev quickly graduates to becoming a very premium, recurring line item in your budget. Crucially, Rev delivers you a clean transcript file, not a ready-to-post bite-sized social media clip, which is a major workflow distinction. You will still be personally responsible for cutting the final clip, finding that truly viral moment, adding custom captions, and manually scheduling the final post for delivery. To summarize this first contender, Rev is the undisputed best option when you need absolute high-stakes accuracy, but it is definitely not the optimal choice for speed or effectively scaling your social output. Next up, we look at Temi, which represents the category of fast, AI-powered transcript services that can crank out text in mere minutes after upload. It is incredibly cheap, often priced in mere cents per minute of audio, and its sheer speed makes it popular for quickly processing long webinars or interviews when you just need searchable text fast. You can generally expect a pretty solid level of accuracy, usually hovering between 85 and 90%, provided your source audio is relatively clean and easy for the AI to process. The main limitation here is that Temi functions like a high-volume transcript factory, not a specialized social post creation machine designed for marketing. You are still going to be manually doing the essential highlight hunting, the precise trimming, and the custom design work for all your posts yourself. Ultimately, Temi remains a fantastic, budget-conscious option, specifically when high-quality captions are the only deliverable you strictly need, or when you just want a quick, searchable text index of your entire session. Moving on to our third tool, we have Otter.ai, which has earned its fame primarily through its exceptional performance in transcribing meetings and conference calls. For many creators, Otter is actually kind of a steal because it offers a very functional free tier that lets you test the waters without any immediate financial commitment. It transcribes quite rapidly, and it handles the often tricky job of speaker labeling with surprising decent accuracy, which is why so many podcasters and remote teams rely on it daily. The primary functional downside is that Otter is intrinsically a meeting-first application, meaning it is not specifically optimized for generating punchy, high-engagement social media clips. Accuracy can fluctuate depending on the complexity of the conversation, and you will still need to jump in to manually cut and polish your clips for the social feed. If you need a cheap, ongoing transcription service and you are perfectly comfortable handling all of the actual creative clip production yourself, Otter is certainly worth putting on your radar. Number 4 on our list is Descript, and I have to admit this particular tool is a genuine favorite for many people for a very good reason. Descript provides an incredibly intuitive text-based editing interface that makes trimming content, removing those annoying filler words, and creating clips as straightforward as editing a standard document. Features like their overdub capability, multi-track editing functions, automated filler word removal, and integrated transcription make it a true one-stop shop for creators who prefer editing their own material. The transcription accuracy is generally quite solid, especially when you are feeding it decent quality source audio, and the overall clip-making workflow feels remarkably smooth. The main factor you need to carefully watch here is the increasing cost as you scale and the associated learning curve required to master all the advanced features. To unlock higher minute caps and access those more powerful features, you must transition into one of their paid subscription plans, and you still have to sit there actively doing the edit work. But for creators who demand hands-on control over every detail without reverting back to a traditional, complex, timeline-based editing environment, Descript truly is brilliant. Our fifth tool is the heavy hitter, Premiere Pro, which is likely already sitting installed on the machine of every professional video editor watching this right now. Adobe has recently added native built-in speech-to-text capabilities and automated caption generation, and frankly, the results are surprisingly good for a secondary feature. If you are already paying for the Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, this presents a very low-friction option because you can transcribe and caption right inside the editing environment you are already using for color grading and audio mixing. The inherent drawback is that Premiere Pro is a massive, resource-heavy application, and it is simply not optimized for the rapid-fire creation of social clips or automated content scheduling. If you already live and breathe within the Premiere ecosystem, utilizing its transcription feature is a total no-brainer. If you are starting fresh, it's a massive amount of software to learn, and the overall subscription is much pricier than many targeted tools. So, looking at the field, who actually wins the comparison based on raw need? If your requirement is legally defensible, perfectly accurate captions for regulatory reasons, then Rev is your only safe bet. If all you truly need is the absolute cheapest and fastest text output possible, then Temi or Otter are certainly solid choices for that single task. If your personal workflow demands detailed hands-on editing within a familiar document-like interface, then Descript is where you should spend your time. And finally, if your entire production environment is already deeply invested in the Adobe suite, then using Premiere Pro's built-in transcription is the logical path forward. But here is the fundamental thing that the majority of content creators I speak with actually need: a repeatable, genuinely low-effort system to systematically turn long videos into multiple short, platform-ready clips. That persistent, grinding gap between creating long content and actually publishing high volumes of short clips is precisely where a tool like Vizard fundamentally changes the entire game for you. Vizard is not trying to pretend it is a human transcriber or a complex timeline-based editing application for color correction. It is hyper-focused on solving the exact problem creators struggle with most: scaling their short-form output efficiently from their established long-form source material. There are 3 specific things that Vizard excels at doing better than most of the other tools we discussed today, making it incredibly valuable for volume output. First is the incredible power of auto-editing viral clips, where the built-in AI intelligently picks out the absolute most attention-grabbing moments across your entire video. This feature eliminates the painful need to scrub through hours of footage manually just to locate that perfect, concise, 20 to 30-second gem that resonates with your audience. The AI surfaces these high-potential moments automatically and prepares them instantly as ready-to-post clips formatted perfectly for various social platforms. The second game changer is the intelligent auto-schedule function, allowing you to tell the AI exactly how often you want to post new content across your channels. Once set, Vizard automatically queues up and schedules the content according to your specified settings, effectively eliminating that frustrating scheduling gap where things sit half-finished and never actually go live. Thirdly, the integrated content calendar allows you to manage, tweak any generated output, and publish clips across all your different platforms from one unified central location. You can easily adjust those automatically generated captions, retime the scheduled posts if needed, and review your entire content pipeline without constantly hopping between 3 or 4 different separate applications. Compared directly to the 5 tools we analyzed, Vizard has been intentionally designed to replace a significant amount of that manual, tedious glue work that connects everything together. Want to use Rev for those super accurate transcripts and then feed that resulting text directly into Vizard for clip selection and final distribution? That is perfectly fine to do. Perhaps you want to upload a Descript project file and have Vizard select the best cuts and handle all the scheduling for you? That scenario is also completely supported and works wonderfully. Vizard is designed to integrate seamlessly as that crucial scale and publish layer that is likely the missing component in your current content strategy. Let's look at a quick practical comparison versus Rev's. Rev gives you the perfect text foundation, but it absolutely will not splice the video or handle any of the posting actions. Vizard, conversely, will find the clips, edit them automatically, and handle the entire scheduling process for you. You are trading some transcription purity for a massive, undeniable time savings. When compared to Temi or Otter, those services are fast and cheap for getting raw text, but Vizard adds the creative automation and distribution logic on top, which is the part that actually eats up your hours. Versus Descript. Descript is exceptional when you need absolute manual precision on every single edit, whereas Vizard is simply unmatched when your goal is automated bulk content creation and consistent publishing. If your priority is truly hands-off scaling, Vizard will always beat the laborious one-by-one editing approach utilized by those more manual programs every single time. Compared to Premiere Pro, Premiere offers the unbeatable power of absolute final creative control, but Vizard is unbeatable when you need to turn one long video into dozens of social clips without having to get a second job as a professional editor. So, who exactly should be prioritizing the use of Vizard in their daily operations? If you are a creator sitting on a goldmine of long interviews, webinars, or live streams, and you need to convert that single source of truth into consistent social content every day or several times a week, Vizard becomes an absolute no-brainer investment. It single-handedly saves you from the crushing grind of finding clips, reformatting them for different platforms, captioning them, and then diligently scheduling every single piece of content. If you are more of a one-off creator who only needs an occasional quick transcript, you should absolutely stick with the simplicity of Temi or Otter for now. If your specific transcripts absolutely must meet stringent legal perfection standards for compliance, then sticking with Rev is the safest professional advice I can give you. And if you genuinely enjoy the hands-on editing process and love crafting each short clip like it's a miniature cinematic film, Descript or Premiere Pro remain excellent primary tools for you. But if your overarching goal is predictable, repeatable content distribution without getting bogged down in all that unnecessary busywork, Vizard becomes the essential tool that actively helps you grow instead of just consuming your precious time. Honestly, this is the exact system our entire team ended up adopting. We use the right specialized tool for each unique job that comes across the desk. When absolute top-tier accuracy is the primary requirement, we ensure we get that human-grade transcript first, and when we need brand-level creative edits, we hop into Descript or Premiere Pro. However, for the majority, nearly 90% of our daily content output, Vizard handles the heavy lifting for volume and consistency, and that automation is what frees us up to actually make more new content instead of editing forever. If you want to immediately test out a significantly smarter content flow, pick one long video, let Vizard auto-generate a set of optimized clips, review them quickly, tweak a caption or two, and then simply hit schedule. You will be genuinely amazed at how fast your various channels begin to fill up with fresh, consistent content that is actually designed to perform well in front of your audience. Alright, that concludes the complete rundown of the tools and the recommended strategy for better outputs. If you are looking for my final actionable recommendation, go Rev for any accuracy-first project, use Temi and Otter if you need cheap and lightning-fast text, lean into Descript or Premiere for those hands-on creative edits. But for anyone serious about scaling and automating their entire short-form content strategy, especially with a built-in content calendar and auto-scheduling, Vizard is the indispensable tool you probably didn't know you desperately needed. If you want to see this in action right now, I can immediately walk you through a sample Vizard workflow, how to upload a raw interview and get an entire week's worth of scheduled shorts published in under 30 minutes. Does that sound like an efficient next step for your content game? That is all for this video, and I will catch you in the next tutorial where we dive deep into that specific Vizard process.